suggesting that the Saudi Arabians engaged in specific attacks. But as far as patrolling into Iraqi airspace, which is rather interesting, some of my PMC contacts over in Iraq, southern Iraq precisely. There are over 200 missiles which have been fired towards Israel, Iraq, and Jordan. And Israel and Jordan, in cooperation with the United States, have intercepted all but 35 of them. And when I say all but 35 of them, of those 35 that made it through, all but 3 of them hit the dirt. Essentially, their trajectory was calculated. It was found they were going to hit nothing. I'm not going to waste something keeping it from smacking a hill in the Golan Heights, for example. So the Iranians, so far, not intercepting a single thing. We've seen exo-atmospheric interceptions. Reuters in Arabia, the Arabic Reuters, has issued a clarification saying that they are denying that they have reported the killing of Al Khamenei. Although it appears now that that's in conflict with several other outlets suggesting that Al Khamenei's body has not only has Al Khamenei been killed and confirmed so, but also that his body has been retrieved. So we'll keep you up to date on some of the information. Iranian state media has just announced, oh no. Iranian state media is now suggesting that not only is Al Khamenei alive, he is commanding in the field. I'm going to repeat that one more time. Multiple outlets and agencies at this point are confirming that Al Khamenei is dead. That his body has been, unalived. The man's not even pushing daisies at this point. The man's pushing parking asphalt. But the Iranian state media has just released an announcement that Al Khamenei is both alive and commanding in the field. Now, I do want to answer a really good question here. It's from a commenter named Dale. Said, if there's no internet communications, then how is this information getting out? That's a great question, and we do have the answer. First of all, the optics and military surveillance over Iran, the entire airspace, is completely and fully under the total control of the United States and Israel. No SAM sites, no surface-to-air missile sites are active, not a single one. We have multiple pieces of footage already released by the United States and by Israel showing that before a lot of these missile sites are even able to be activated, essentially before the hydraulics are able to lift the missile pointing towards the sky, MQ-9 Reapers, Global Hawks, and other drone equipment that isn't covered by the Navy already is turning those particular missiles into a fine, bit of shattered material. And that further and forward, there are confirmed Starlink and other permalink handshakes, again, the ping back and forth, between several other internet points. The Iranians do not have, at this point, a full internet shutdown in their country. They have attempted to. They have not been able to secure a full internet shutdown and lockout in all 24 provinces. And so in this particular instance right now, the argument that is being made is that there's really nothing that the Iranians can bring forward here in any direct point of retaliation. The action appears to be one of significant relief. EVI reported where many of the political prisoners in Iran are held. And as a reference here, yesterday, Secretary of State Marco Rubio made quite the point of designating the very first official wrongful detention label for Iran and its regime. Again, stating that key phrase, for the last 47 years, Iran has taken up the task of, imprisoning U.S. citizens endlessly. Now, the President of the United States last night in Florida, this is something that I wanted to get to just because I think that it's, particularly important here. The President of the United States was seen last night at Mar-a-Lago a couple of hours before he ordered this strike, and danced to God Bless the USA right before he went and ordered these major strikes that would result in the death of Ayatollah Al Khamenei. Lots of ballistic missiles that are flying. They are being intercepted closer and closer to Iranian airspace. A very big deal. Outside of Iran by these particular attacks, one dead so far in the reporting, a Pakistani national. No casualties, no injuries. We'll take in here and answer a couple of questions over on the mail time side of things. From Mazi Bachman, do you think this is going to lead into World War III? No, and the reason I don't think so is who's on the Iranian side? Iran has no air force. Iran has, if they have a navy, they don't have it long. Iran, we've already sunk two of Iran's navies to the bottom of the sea. This will be a third one. Have Sebastian start striking up the band. It's going to be under the sea for the Iranians pretty soon. And their army is too busy trying to keep their own civilians quelled. Do I think this is going to lead into World War III? No. China and Russia have already left Iran on red. You remember at the beginning of the last week, Iran announced that Russia and China were going to send parts of their navies to come do exercises in the Strait of Hormuz. And Steve, are there any Russian or Chinese ships in the Strait of Hormuz right now? Man. Nope. So no, it's not going to lead to World War III. Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens and that whole crew, the crew that's been wrong about everything else ad nauseum, guess what? They're wrong here. As a Midwesterner, I'd like to say what we often do, scoreboard. I suppose, maybe the 53rd time, they might finally be right someday, but it certainly is not today. We do have one comment. I think it's interesting to report. It says, look, I'm from Iran. I'm connected by Starlink. I have some news for you guys. A few of my people saw the Al Khamenei, and he's under the blocks. He's dead. If that's a real comment, congratulations to you, and God bless. Now, that we've heard of Baghdad Bob. Now we have Tehran Tim. That's pretty funny. I like that. From Phil the Throb. Nice name there. Did we already win? Let's not get ahead of our skis here. Let's not get ahead of our skis. The important thing right now, I believe, yes, Al Khamenei's death is of critical importance, for sure. However, right now, the United States needs to make it incredibly clear that we are going to put our troops on a defensive posture. All of the air defense systems in place. Anyone who comes up to a soldier, whether he is holding a baguette or a chocolate bar, doesn't matter. He needs to be stopped 30 feet away and needs to be searched. No one comes close to U.S. troops. And by the way, here in the United States as well, someone asked us in the last broadcast, do you think we all need to be extra careful and, be worried about counterterrorism threats or anything like that? I can't give you an answer, but I'll say this. It's better safe than sorry, and it is better to keep your head on a swivel. I know there are a lot of Democrats in Congress who tell you that see something, say something is racist, but those people are retarded. You have to listen to them. Keep your head on a swivel. And also, if you conceal it, do so responsibly. So, incredible, very, very, very incredible to see the, sorry, a funny quote tweet. Obviously, with the news, Iranian Supreme Leader Khamenei confirmed death. So again, I don't think that it's time necessarily to run the victory laps over there. Now, over here, absolutely, incredible stuff for sure. Thanks also to Quellen for a very kind $5 super chat. Again, you guys don't have to do any of that. We're very, very appreciative of the kindness. We're just glad that you guys are here with us. We're We're keeping a couple of eyes on other information that's streaming in that we want to make sure that we confirm responsibly. John Fetterman also signaling alongside, responding to the news of Al Khamenei's corpsification, saying, quote, "Let's see who grieves for that garbage." I think it's correct. That's a very decent thing to say there. Very, very upset. You know, your Tucker Carlson's and your Dave Smiths and your Candace Owens and all of that, they can cry about it. I don't know how they don't really care. Again, school board, got things to do. Mamdani, AOC, Omar, also very, very upset over this. I mean, okay. I'm going to be honest. The polling, you're going to see it. Same thing. Al Khamenei dead with there are no U.S. casualties, God willing. Then that's going to poll very well. Just like Maduro's capture. Because that's just the truth, folks. That is very, very much the way that it is. From Gigi Evan, a $5 super chat, very, very kindly said, "Do we now own the term blitzkrieg, or do we need another term for decapitation warfare?" So blitzkrieg involves sending in your mobilization, actually sending in full mobilization of your infantry and your armor, and doing a rapid conquering and conquest, not just an air campaign. What the United States may have done here is finally ended the one question that was left hanging because we ended the Gulf War too soon, and because we had the who didn't know what the heck was going on doing press conferences, is that can the United States effectuate big change via an air campaign? By the way, you were told this wasn't going to happen. You were told. I was told that the United States, the Mar-a-Lago Situation Room, has seen more dictatorships knocked down in a single presidential administration than the White House Situation Room in a single presidential administration. Here you go. We'll go ahead and actually fit that one to the screen here if we can make it a little bit bigger. We'll try anyway. So there's the President of the United States in his white USA hat. You can see Susie Wiles. You can see Secretary of State Marco Rubio, or as he's also known, Ayatollah Al Khamenei, the new Supreme Leader of Iran. Which is what that was. And together in their situation rooms, the Iranians could not figure that out, and now they have found out. I'm just amazed that they all thought that they could get away with it. Forgive me, I have no idea if I'm pronouncing that correctly. But I'm tootiness, you know? Incredible. Here's some more on the fireworks here.